This is Business Glide, and I'm Richard Mwenja. Welcome to the only point of call on matters public policy, business, and economic analysis in Kenya. Such a distinct privilege to have your company with us. And today we have a raft of issues to discuss in the world of economics. And who better to help me bring such conversations home than this renowned think tank? He's a master of all trades, an economist, seasoned political analyst,
lawyer, everything. Yes.
How are you?
Fine.
You're well?
Well.
Why are you a jack of all trades and seemingly a master of them all?
God. The God manze.
The God manze? So who are we? Children of a lesser God?
No, he gives you what he thinks you can handle. You can't take the tasks from an elephant and put on a cow. The cow can't carry it.
Was that the best example you could use?
Yeah.
All right, that of the way, sir.
Yes.
We are at a time whereby so much is happening in this country. You are University Dawn, and glad that today we are starting the conversation on education matters. At least 200 parliamentary staff have been nabbed on the crackdown over fake papers. Most of them have been holders of fake academic credentials. And we've seen this crackdown being extended to other sectors of public service. And I want to understand, sir, you've been the biggest endorser of the place of merit in public service. Why are we seeing such critical institutions like Parliament still offering immunity to such?
You know, this is normal with Kenya. We are just jokers. In every sector, we just joke. Yeah, even now as we do it, we are not serious. Let me tell you this. If we were to flag out people carrying fake certificates, we shall create over 300,000 jobs in the public service.
There are more than the 200 from Parliament?
200 people. Are they 200 people?
They have been sent home
I'm
already.
talking of that 200, add another zero on another one. 200,000. They will be found fake certificates. Before you talk about the merits of the certificate, even those who have genuine ones, and much less whether the people with the papers know anything. So, you know, to start by, let's face out papers that don't exist, fake ones. You tell them go home. You create room for other people. Then begin to look at the relevance of how your certificate is relevant to what you are doing. In the process, I'm not saying people must match their certificate. No, there's always conversion and adaptability. I know, take care of all those, but there are some very awkward things, like a man with a degree in theology being in charge of security. And he didn't get that job because they say anything he has. That's the paper he used to get that job in security. You know, there are cases like those.
The bare minimum.
Yeah, so you are doing accounts work and what you did is CRA or something else, and so on and so forth. And then we now go to the next stage where, yes, you have the paper. Here it is. Very genuine, from a recognized university or a school or a college. What is the nexus between this paper and you?
The link.
Yeah. We want to see what is written on this paper in you. If this paper says you have a bachelor's degree in some area, can we really see that in you?
It has to be reflected.
Or you want to wear it on your face? You want to wear your master's degree on your face? No, we want to rip it off. We want to see the person behind the paper. Do you have anything? Another big mistake we make in this country. Every job you hear, we want a master's. We want what? Then you ask, is it the person or the paper?
That is
in places like Germany and other countries, they are more interested in what you can do than the papers you... Not just Germany.
So there's less obsession with how many papers you are carrying to the table.
This Kenya here. And another stupidity is about those other things. Oh, chapter 6, the police abstract. Oh, care, help. What does that go to with somebody's ability? We are looking for a good accountant. That's all. Can you do the job? If there are other things that can stand in your way of doing the job, we shall use them to deny you the job. But this routine, mechanical, help, care, good conduct,
EACC is on the picture.
Stupid. That's very, very stupid of us as Kenyans. Mechanical routine. Then it stops us from looking at the person. That becomes almost everything. Let's get rid of those kind of things. And let's begin to interrogate the nexus between that. Is there any connection between the certificate you hold and your abilities? If I interview you, my friend, hey, when I'm interviewing people, my friend,
most will be sent back home.
After 10 minutes, you just run away from the room yourself.
Even those from UN?
Yeah, anywhere. So one, you have too many fake papers. Two, there's very little connection between our paper and the ability of the person. We never even care that beyond the paper, is there anything? You say you are a university graduate, but when you talk, do I see a university graduate? You know, when I just interact with you, do I see a university graduate in you? Because a university graduate is a university mind. I tell my students, what the world will be looking for is not the certificate you are carrying in chemistry, or in sociology, or history, or communication, or biology, or whatever it is. They are seeing a certain mind. The university produces a certain person, an organized mind, an analytical mind. You get it? An orderly mind. A mind and a person that can withstand pressure. That's what the university is producing, not a certificate. So we must now fake out. Certificate, a certificate is here, the honor is here. Can we see the certificate in the honor? And then finally, we must make sure that we do not block capable people on the just basis of papers alone.
Let's advance.
By insisting every job, we want this kind of paper. We should open up a bit because there have been people in the world, and there still are. The former Prime Minister of UK, John Major, just got to Form 2 and went to work in Nigeria in a bank and finally became the Chancellor of the Exchequer and
delivered better than
became
professors.
Prime Minister. Of course. Of course. There are many people like those.
All right.
You interact with the people when you learn they don't have a degree, you get shocked. Haven't you? Haven't you interacted with the people when you hear they didn't go to university? What? You get shocked.
True.
Yeah.
Let's advance that conversation further and let's try to retrace where the rain started beating us when it comes to the place of merit in public service in Kenya. And you've lived long enough to see any time a state officer is appointed, most of them, we see them going back to their villages. I mean, Thanksgiving ceremonies being held down there. And I want to understand, oftentimes, do people consider these state appointments as ethnic trophies?
Of course. That's how we have ethnicized everything. So that we want to pretend that when you have something, it belongs to the people. But you also want to go and show off in the village.
Isikuti dancers welcoming after your appointment as a minister.
That kind of primitivity. I know I may do the same if I'm appointed, but it will not stop from being stupid.
You'll deliver for
the fact that I could do it like anybody else doesn't mean that it's a good thing.
It is not a good thing. No, but then again, Prof, even when it comes to these state appointments, oftentimes those appointed to such dockets, critical dockets, do you find that most of the time it is informed by the desire for primitive accumulation of wealth or to serve the national good, the larger national good?
Of course, many people see that as a stepping stone to wealth, to riches, to money, to power and glory, not to service. The moment we turn those public positions into positions of service, this country will just change. It will just change.
Remember, domiciled in our national anthem is the need for us to have plenty found within our borders.
Yes.
And
plenty would be found.
Yeah. But how comes we take a paradigm shift right after being sworn into office, using the same Bible and allegiance to the anthem?
It's nonsense. This morning, coincidentally, a friend of mine, Wamitila, and I have been discussing this problem with Africa and Kenya in particular, why we are not developing. Just outside here.
Wamitila, the author?
Yes, and I didn't want you to go that direction.
All right,
I just wanted the name.
Good. All right.
And we were saying, you see, the problem we have is in Africa and many other third world, the problem of the top, not when I mean top is not politics, just the top, anywhere, top, are the not so intelligent people. They are the ones at the top. So if we could find a way of removing those unintelligent people and putting the intelligent men and women at the top, these African countries will all change.
They would?
They will all change.
And in a bid to help...
And remember, we have already said, intelligent doesn't mean certificates. It just means intelligent people. It really irritates me when I see every job these days, they say, you must have a master's. Then I wonder, do they know what these masters look like? Do they know there are so many people with master's degree? If they sit here and you sit here, you will have a problem believing they have 1 degree.
You look out of the interview?
Yeah, not even the interview. Even the gate, they can't enter. If you ask somebody, who are you? What is your name? What have you come here to do? The gate, in the gate before they come to the building, in the gate. I'm coming, even to explain to you what they are coming to do. Explain to a watchman. And you know some of these guards have degrees. You know that these days because of the unemployment.
Sure.
To explain to that guard what they are coming in to do, an interview. Many of those people with master's degree can't even express themselves to a guard. That is how tragic it is.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And sort of to now get back and stop the reverse on the gains we had made when it comes to the place of merit in public service.
Yes.
We have seen one attempt to take back that which belongs to the state, back to its right honor, is through wealth declaration and also lifestyle audit on rogue state officers. Do you think that's a conduit that will help us now change the attitude whereby you get into office to serve, but not to steal?
We have been need for almost 20 or so, I don't know how many years.
Have we recorded substantial success?
I have filled those forms. They mean nothing.
Let's write home about?
There's nothing. They just mean nothing. They just mean nothing. That's all. If they meant anything, the people who present themselves to be vetted at cabinet ministers or secretaries, they should be jailed on the vetting day. Because they can't convince anybody how they made the money they have. So those things mean nothing.
They mean nothing. So all we need as a country is the change of attitude when you're getting into public service.
I've said
more talk about it.
I've said what we need is a man or woman in State House who will enter there and say, enough is enough. This country must move forward.
Even for those who oiled their campaign.
It doesn't matter. If I stood and you support me, don't come back to me saying I supported you. And therefore I must do bad things to you, with you, no. Just support me to do good things for the country. Otherwise, don't support me.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. Support me knowing the changes I will bring could even hit you. So you need a man or woman in State House who will put an end to all these shenanigans that are delaying us, that's delaying us as a people from realizing our potential. You talk of plenty within
our borders and not within our stomach.
You cannot have plenty. It can be in the stomachs, but also within the borders. And like I've said before, there is so much in this country. There is so much in this country. There is so much in this country, Richard. If we have men and women who feel for this country, who love this country, who are willing to break with the past, who are willing to undergo personal risk. Because if you do good things, you become a risk. From the days of Patrice Lumumba, to Steve Biko of South Africa, to Thomas Sankara, to Muammar Gaddafi, people who think about their people, who worry about their people, who get concerned about their people, who go to bed thinking, what will tomorrow be for the people of my country? The moment you are in that category, you are at risk. But there must be men and women willing to take that risk to save their countries.
Is our president on that path?
You might have to ask him.
I will, someday soon. Let's now cross over to our founder of the week. It is none other than this renowned gentleman, former member of parliament, Alfred Keter. He watches most of our editions.
Oh, Keter, a friend of mine. Thank you, Keter. You are part of the show. I met him, I've never asked him. Oh, it was wonderful.
Our biggest support
Ah,
outside.
yeah, wonderful. Last year, was it last year or early this year, I was in his village for Koito. Yes, Koito, yeah. You know, it's, yeah.
Do you think he stands a chance at elective politics in the near future?
Who? Alfred Keter? Hey, the sky is the limit. You see, Kenyans are beginning to realize that's not about Mutietu. They are looking at Alfred Keter. He doesn't just speak for Nandi Hills. Some of the things he talks about and pushes for and agitates for are things that will change this country tomorrow. And these people have children and grandchildren. So when Keter speaks for a better Kenya, they know he's speaking for their grandchildren.
Rift Valley politicians say he's a traitor in the temple.
No, people are beginning to see. There's this young man, Kalenjin, who voted against Gachagua's impeachment. He's not as unpopular as you might think. He's doing well.
Sure.
Let me tell you, in 2027, 2032, as we go into 2037, the results will begin to shock people. We will go back where some communities were sometimes back in Nyans and what have you. It's not those people who say yes, yes, who are elected. It's not those who support our leader. No.
Yes, sir, Your Excellency.
No, people like Alfred Keter are going, 2027, I can tell you for free, he'll win. For free. And even if he stands for senator, he will get.
Well, there you have it. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Alfred Keter for always tuning in to our conversations. Up next on your screen is the Business Glide African Proverb of the Day.